All right, we're live, Mom.
Hey, my favorite thing to do. That's why it's been so long.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know. Well, nobody's watching yet.
Well,
but
that's good.
This is going to be
an
an interview with Mommy.
AKA Denise.
Yes.
And this is Henry. He's my sidekick. He'll answer any questions I can't.
Yeah.
He's very smart.
Hopefully this is working, actually. Not sure. Let's go look on YouTube if this is working. Oh, it is working. Okay.
Okay, good.
Yeah. Okay, so this is my mom. I believe she's an ISFP in Myers-Briggs / ESI and Socionics, but she doesn't know stuff about that, nor does she care.
That's true.
Don't
care. Henry doesn't care either. This is Henry.
So, I asked people if they have any questions for you, so we'll go over some of those first, and then we'll go over any questions that we get in the chat. Also, can someone comment, is this working for everyone? Let's see. I need to, for everyone. Okay. I think it is working.
Okay, Henry.
All right. So
straighten up. You gotta have
questions. I'm gonna go on Instagram first because that was some of the questions that I got.
Henry, you're looking tired. Did you not have your line?
While I'm looking for questions, if you guys have any questions, just let me know. What, Mom? What?
Henry's being a little amorous right now. Do I have lotion on my face? Is that it?
Okay.
We didn't get his rabies shots. I haven't changed it yet.
Those
are always hard to do.
Someone asked,
irritating.
Are you proud of me?
Proud of Emily? Of course I am. She's my wonderful daughter.
Okay. What was it like raising me as a baby?
Actually, pretty easy. You were a little cute little muffin. Of course, I did call you a bobblehead.
Yeah, because I have a big head.
And a little tiny body.
She
never cried. She's very sweet. She's still sweet most of the time. We all have our moments, don't we? Mm-hmm.
So, okay.
Can you chew things that you shouldn't chew?
What is your skincare routine, Mom?
Well, I used to be an esthetician, if anyone knows what that is. But I found that a lot of these real fancy creams and things, you can get things from the from anywhere, really, Target, wherever. That's just as good as the fancy stuff. But I just wash my face with water. I have very sensitive skin, and I use retinol. Can't use creams on my face, I'll break out. So, but simple is better. Absolutely. I always use a toner, like a rose toner.
Yeah.
On my face. I'm broken out a little bit right now. I'm hiding it with makeup. I've been working out in the yard, sweating a lot.
Yeah. Mom, I'm gonna take a break from answering those questions, but I want to ask you some stuff. How would you describe yourself personally?
A complicated, uncomplicated person.
How would you describe me?
I think you're more simple than I am. Young.
Simple
in the sense that I think you are who you are. People don't really know who I am.
Really?
No, I don't think so.
You think that I am who I am?
Yeah, you're more simple than I am, I think. In the sense that you are a sweet person and you are, just a lot sweeter than I am.
I would say that probably some people disagree with that statement. They probably don't maybe think me as being very sweet. But Okay. Sorry, this is a bit weird for me, even though, like, obviously she's my mom.
As in Denise.
Yeah, this is Denise.
Yeah.
My mom.
This is Henry.
What was the biggest challenge you had growing up, would you say?
Myself or bringing you and Anna up?
No, just yourself.
Myself. Knowing where my place was, I guess, in the family. I really didn't know where it existed. Back in my day, we didn't talk about anything. Parents didn't talk about stuff. You weren't really a part of whatever it was. I had, 2 older brothers, and I was the youngest. And
yeah, my mom.
I was just supposed to look pretty. That was my role.
Yeah. Well, different than what we grew up with. If you guys don't know, I have a younger sister, and I would say my mom was a good mom growing up. We used to do a lot of arts and crafts with us and stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I was mainly a single parent, so that's harder. It's the mother and the father, which is harder, I think.
Yeah.
I was more strict probably than other parents, because I knew what it was like not if you aren't strict, what happens. And I protected you guys from a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So.
Well, if I was to describe my mom, I would say my mom is very like alpha type. Well, not like in socionics, but like alpha as in she has a very alpha demeanor to her. And her 2 brothers, her 2 older brothers are also pretty alpha and dominant. My mom is very intimidating to some people. Like one of my friends, Rachel, who is an INTJ, I've been friends with her since I was 10. And she told me that like she didn't know my mom liked her until we were juniors in high school. So, but I feel like you weren't mean, like definitely not mean, but you were definitely distant.
I would just look at kids in the eye and treat them more, I wouldn't say like an equal, but I would ask them questions and listen to what they were saying.
Yeah. Out of the 2 of us, who was the easier child out of my sister and me? Or what would you say? I guess they were different.
I mean, I guess you both were fairly easy. Because I had 2 brothers, I was more of a tomboy, and I wasn't really used to being around girls per se. So I wasn't used to the emotional stuff that goes along with girls, and that was probably the most difficult part for me.
Mm-hmm.
Is the emotional drama that I don't like. So I would just tell them when they would fight unless I see blood, I'm not going to get involved.
Yeah, that was very annoying. Because Anna was typically the one to blame my sister.
Yeah, but it's always a he said, she said situation, so you can't get involved in that.
Yeah. So just to clarify, this is my mom. I believe she's an ISFP in Myers-Briggs and ESI and Socionic. She doesn't know anything about personality type, but
nor does she care.
Yeah, she doesn't care.
No.
But if you guys have any questions for her, I really would like to hear some different questions. I'm gonna go back into this. So, okay, how would you compare like raising me versus raising Anna? Like,
what do you mean?
So, what was the difference in how? I know that we.
Well, I think the fact that you both are, the fact that you're just 2 years apart is difficult because I kind of raised you almost as twins, much to their chagrin.
Yeah, she used to dress us up.
Yeah, dress them more too. But you each had your little situations, you know, you were both sensitive about certain things. Anna always wanted to be an only child. And so, you know, she would always take Emily's stuff, and then Emily was never allowed to have any of her things.
Yeah, when I was younger,
So Emily was always a lot sweeter in that sense. And Anna was more drama driven when she was younger, I believe. You know, more, I don't know how to describe it. But it's all settled down now, so it's much better.
You said that Anna was more.
Well, she would explode more. You both would have little situations, but Anna would have more of a explosion.
Mm-hmm. Well, I definitely was a lot less picky.
Yeah, she's very picky.
Well, Anna was. She's not picky anymore.
Well,
she's not picky about food.
No, she's not. But she's very particular about what she likes.
Yeah, and I was just whatever.
Emily still is whatever.
Well, I think you should describe Anna as a baby versus me as a baby.
Well, Emily as a baby was very, very clingy. She was very happy for me to carry her around everywhere, even at age 2. She liked her bottle. She liked cuddling. You know, she was very, very content. Anna, on the other hand, was colic. She cried and cried and cried and cried. And she walked at 10 months. She would not let me feed her. She always wanted to feed herself. And of course, now Anna's in Japan by herself and very, very independent. And Emily's living with me in my house.
Well, I mean,
which is actually really good for me.
I mean, that's
her,
that's kind of a
with
lot
the corona stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I am moving back here.
We did ask Anna to come, but she refuses. So.
Yeah. Well,
we're not shocked by that.
Yeah, Anna's a lot. I've always admired Anna's tenacity. Mm-hmm. She's very tenacious, and I've always been like, I mean, I think both
Emily's
of us
more willy-nilly, and that's something that she needs to work on, and she knows that.
Yeah.
And I can be willy-nilly too, but with age, I've realized that you have to have a plan and stick to the plan or have variations of the plan, but at least have a plan.
Yeah.
So we're working on that.
Well, you also have always a plan.
A, B, C, D.
E, F, G.
Yeah.
And then I typically only have a plan A. Anyways, and then I might change.
Plan A never really goes well, so
Well, we'll go on to that later. Your chill ISFJ, that's her username, but her name is Jamie. We actually talked the other day. If your mom could do anything for a day, what would she do? Doesn't matter how much things would cost. If you could do anything in the day.
For a whole day, or things I haven't done, or
what would, like, if you, in your ideal day, what would you do?
I don't know. I'd like to help young girls. Like counseling. I think I would really like that. Just to get in their head and talk to them about what's bothering them.
You could have your own YouTube channel where you could tell it.
No, I'm not doing that.
Well,
then you're responsible and people come after you.
What about like an average day?
Average day, I mean, I do what I want pretty much. You know, I go walk Henry. Henry loves his little walks, going outside, working in the garden. I would add to that probably some kind of art, painting or something. I used to do flowers, and I really enjoyed doing that.
Well, you also used to do interior design too. Mm-hmm. And you still, I mean, things have changed.
Yeah.
But you still help people.
Yeah. Yeah. People don't really like to pay for that either. Yeah. I mean, they don't. They just don't. Everyone thinks they're an interior designer until they look.
So if you could eat any one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
I don't know. Something that I can't eat now because it's too fattening, or
whatever, if it's, yeah, and it doesn't necessarily make you fat.
Yeah, I love brownies. I love the ooey gooey ones though. Dark chocolate Ghirardelli with dark chocolate chips. It's my favorite.
Yeah, those are really good.
Not quite cooked all the way.
Yeah.
Which we'll probably have that on Friday with pizza, homemade pizza and brownies, and then work out the rest of the week to try to get it off.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I just made some stuffed peppers. We haven't had them yet, but I just made some for us. What is your biggest fear?
I don't know. I guess I just I don't know. There's lots of fears as a parent. You just want your children to be happy and succeed if you're not around.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's it.
Well, I think I think you definitely worry for Anna and I. Oh, that was sweet. Look,
What?
$10. Someone just donated $10 to us.
Oh,
That was sweet.
I can buy my Ghirardelli brownies now.
Oh, thank you. Okay, what does your mom hate doing, or what does she avoid?
I don't like conflict.
You don't like
I
conflict?
avoid conflict with people that, I mean, I'm a person that I think that I'm fairly fair, but if someone doesn't want to see your side of whatever the situation is, and they just want to argue, I don't like, I walk away from that, because you'll never win the argument, and you'll just get sucked into a discussion that is not helpful for anyone.
So Flow State or Taylor just asked, are you an artist / what medium are you?
I think everyone is an artist in their own right, you know. When I was younger, I used to paint. I've actually made a quilt. Only made one for Emily, the baby quilt for her. Didn't quite get any further.
Didn't do it for little Annie.
No, I was a little busy. But no, I like working with colors. I love plants.
You used to be a makeup artist.
Yeah, I was a makeup artist back in the day. I think you can find art in everything, really. Even in your own house, like putting pictures together that normally wouldn't go together, but they work because the color tones are good, you know, or like that bowl there where I have all the different balls, but it works because they're all kind of natural, you know, and I have a shell in there too. And yeah, I think art is definitely in the eyes of the beholder.
Yeah. What do you do for work, or do you wanna?
Well, what was I doing for work?
Yeah, well,
before the corona. No, like I said, I was an esthetician for 8 years.
You also own your own business.
I own my own gift design business, which I absolutely loved.
Yeah. Which I would say, to answer your question, Taylor, for the art thing, I mean, she's very much, she loves to like design things. So like put together arrangements. She used to help us with, remember when we used to do the French doors, when I would design like the doors?
Yeah.
And then you would help, you would actually come in.
Yeah.
We used to do this foreign language thing in high school, and I always was kind of a little bit of a dictator with this. And people would vote on my design for the door concept, and it just so happened that I always was chosen as the person. And my mom would help sometimes with Miss Porto and stuff.
Well, I would just help put some ideas in that maybe other people might not think about.
Yeah, materials and stuff. She's very visual, very, very visual. But yeah, what were you doing for work?
Oh, And so I went back to school and got my real estate license and was working as a, what do they call that? Property management, where people are renting their homes and you go in and help with that process.
Mhm.
Of course, all that's gone to pot right now. So
Yeah. So right now she's doing a lot of gardening. Like if I knew we weren't going to be doxxed, I would totally show our garden.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, doxing is like people basically finding out where you live.
Yeah.
Which would not
Henry would not appreciate it.
Henry would not appreciate it. Why would you do
a
it?
lot if someone came.
Okay. Oh. Do you take pictures of nature on your phone?
Yeah. I mean, I've got a really good picture. One of the last ones I took was of a cardinal in a tree. It was a beautiful, you could just see the beautiful red from the cardinal and with the green around. It was just gorgeous.
Speaking of cardinals.
Oh, Nana.
No, Fleur.
No, I think that was a robin.
No, it was a cardinal.
It was?
Yeah.
Oh.
It was a female cardinal. Cardinal.
Cardinal?
So
so Emily has this wonderful cat called Fleur.
We could go
who
get her.
Has become a killer. So we call her the killer.
And Huntress.
Yeah, Huntress and the killer. And then Henry goes out to see what it is, and then I scream at him because I don't want him to pick it up. But we had a bird today. We had a chipmunk, full-grown chipmunk. Kind of looks like a little squirrel with a stripe. Yeah, we've had mice and moles. She was on a roll.
A rabbit.
There. Yeah,
a few rabbits.
3 rabbits. 1 rabbit, 2 bunnies. Yeah, she's been on a roll lately.
Yeah, she's a
mom and a dead bird.
Oh yeah.
Oh. With feathers all over the place.
All right. Nick Stride said, how do you guys feel about this corona? Do you like not having to deal with people, or is it a nightmare?
Yeah, I'm not really a people person.
Oh. That's where we're very different.
Yeah, see, I like just certain people, and and sometimes I can be a little bit too abrupt or honest.
Bitchy?
Not really. No, I know. I'm not really.
No, you're
bitchy.
not.
Some
you're
people
not.
may perceive it that way just because I'm.
She's
more direct.
very.
But
again, she has like a very not alpha as in socionics, but like alpha, dominant type of vibe to her. And so when people meet her,
children and animals like me.
Yeah.
So right. No, so this corona thing has not bothered me that much at all.
Well, besides the fact that we do know, people, and we worry about Anna being in Japan and stuff like that. Yeah,
and my mother's 80.
Yeah.
Her grandmother, who, well, we won't. Okay. So, anyway. We no, we're doing good. We are living in a beautiful home. I'm working on the garden. We've only lived here not quite 2 years, like 1.5 years. So I have a lot of gardening to do, and so that's kind of where I'm spending most of my time.
Yeah, and I mean, for me, it's been kind of like a 180 because I was living in Georgia, and then I came back here.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of had to restart things, but it's good. I lived here before I moved back to Georgia, and I mean, it feels like home. Like, obviously, little Henry right here is a good boy.
And Fleur's enjoying herself.
Yeah, we could get her. She's on the porch. I can get her in a moment.
She's been doing a lot of hunting.
Yes. Okay, your chill ISFJ. Do you see gamma values in her, Emily? I'm curious, ESI makes sense. I do. And again, she doesn't know anything about like socionics or typology in general. Again, she doesn't care. But I definitely do. I see, like, I saw someone say earlier that they saw TE, like extroverted thinking. She has, I mean, she's definitely putting on like a more TE front right now. Not that she's like acting or anything, but she's definitely like, I feel like she's more relaxed when we're together by ourselves. I know you're right here, mommy, but she can be very sensitive as well. She does remind me of an ENTJ in some ways, but it's not that I don't think she's an ENTJ. It's like the duality. I actually think that her best friend is an ENTJ, but that's beside the point. But to answer the question, I do think she's an ESI in socionics. I have some, but there's definitely more questions here. Let's see. What's your zodiac sign?
Cancer.
Yeah, and I'm on the cusp of Cancer and Leo.
Mm-hmm.
And then Anna's a Leo.
What's yours?
He's a Virgo.
You're a Virgo. I get along well with Virgos.
So what would you say it was? What was the hardest thing about raising me?
I mean, I think for most parents, no matter what, you don't have a book on parenting, especially when I was a parent. And you continue to be a parent. There's nothing that prepares you for that. You think, oh, they turn 18, they're off on their own. No. You never stop worrying. You never, you don't really know what to do with a child. You're thinking, oh, they're a little baby, and then they go to school, and then that's it. But no, there's all kinds of other stuff that goes along with it,
Yeah.
And you just always worry, am I making the right decision? Did I do the right thing? Yeah, there's no book for it.
So what is your little obsession that you have?
Besides drinking Perrier water that I love, I love sparkling
I'm thinking
water.
of a certain obsession that you do.
Which one?
Something that you buy a lot of and you have a lot of.
Shoes. And you know why that is, girls, ladies?
I don't think there's many ladies, but
Huh?
There's not that many. Well, yeah, Jamie's watching.
Anyway, the reason why I have the shoe handbag obsession, and men probably don't realize this, but no matter what size you are, you can usually wear those shoes.
Yeah.
And you feel cute in them when you have a pair of cute shoes, even if your jeans are a little tight or they didn't quite fit and you have to wear these other pants, you can still wear those cute shoes.
Yeah, she's always, I would say this is something just to describe what it was like having my mommy moo as a mom. When I was younger and like growing up, even now, if I go out of the house without makeup, what do you say to me?
Well, I mean, you sure you want to go out like where are you going? I mean, if you're going for a run, that's a different story.
Yeah,
but,
which I did earlier.
Yeah.
Jamie would be proud of me.
If you're going out, I was always taught put your best foot forward, and if you can look a little bit better with a little bit of makeup, I'm not talking about full on, even as much as she has on right now. To me, she doesn't need all of that. All she needs is just a little bit of mascara and lip gloss, and she's fine.
Yeah, but she does say that
Me, on the other hand, I need.
Well, you're a different age than me.
I know. You remind me of that all the time.
Speaking of shoes, I just saw James. I still have your shoes. I actually do wear them, which thank you. But anyways, going.
Oh, that's the black and white ones.
Yeah, they're
cute.
Yeah, they're cute. So I lost what I was going to ask. Here, I'm going to go to YouTube comments, which, by the way, if you guys have any questions to ask her, let me know.
Henry, we're not. Henry's asleep now.
Henry's
We're
asleep.
boring him.
Well, that reminds me of the puzzle. What does Henry hate?
Oh, when we first started this Corona situation, I got a 1,000-piece puzzle, and we were watching Outlander on TV, and Henry would get so jealous, and he just would stare us down like, "Are you kidding me? Where am I going to sit? Why aren't you paying attention to me?" He was quite upset. So I had to put the puzzle over on the table. I think he actually ate some of those pieces. Well, I was missing a few pieces from the puzzle.
Yeah.
I think he took them.
There's a conspiracy out there that Henry
I
sabotaged the puzzle.
Well, I think he did.
Anyways, Liza, or Treasure Seasons, asked, how has your life changed after raising 2 children? Particularly 2 daughters like Anna and I.
I think I'm definitely a better person for it. I was not in tune with my feelings or really my sensitivity as much as what I am since I've raised 2 daughters. More feminine as well. I try to be more sensitive with people and their feelings than what I ever was before.
I feel like you were in your feelings, but you said that you were very angry and stuff.
Growing up. Yeah.
And just kind of.
Well.
Yeah, well.
We're not supposed to.
Let's see. I don't know if we have any more questions. I mean, we definitely have some questions here. Let's see. INFJs and ISFPs usually have issues communicating. How well do you think you get along if you're related? So describe our relationship, Mom, right now. Do we get along?
Yeah, we do. I mean, I still, sometimes I catch myself treating her like a child. Which you'll always be my child no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
But I do need to respect you a little bit more as an adult instead of look at you as a child. And I get along fairly well with people, but yeah, I'm not the huge people person. I do well in outside settings with people in business and that kind of thing.
You like sales?
I love sales. I love relating with people. Henry just did a big sigh. He's really bored. But I really don't have time for people that are wannabes, that aren't who they I guess that try to be something they're not.
Yeah.
I don't have time for that. I usually make an excuse and walk away.
But I would say we do get along.
Yeah.
You do definitely annoy me, and we definitely talk about that with each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and she annoys me for reasons that we can only imagine, right? When you've been used to living by yourself and your daughter comes and leaves clothes around and doesn't clean up when she should be cleaning up. And
yeah, well, she just got on to me about not cleaning the kitchen after cooking for us.
But it's an ongoing thing, and you do usually do that.
Yeah.
So.
But I think
she's gotten a lot better.
Well, I would say the biggest thing that my mom gets on to me about is being in my head too often.
Yeah. I worry about her being upstairs and being on the computer too much, and I want her to be outside more and talking with people,
Get married.
Well, only if it's the right person, because if you get married to the wrong person, that will make things a lot worse.
Yeah.
But no, I mean, for both of you, I want you to be happy, whatever, however that looks.
Yeah.
So,
Speaking of, I feel like this might be interesting for people. How would you say, I mean, we don't have to go into grand detail, but you've met basically all of my most recent exes.
mhm.
How would you describe them?
Henry wants to answer that question. He perked up for that one. Emily has a problem with obsession. She gets obsessed when she likes someone, and she ignores some of the signs that she shouldn't ignore. But they all seem fairly nice. You know, I would like for her to start out as friends first so that she gets to know them as a person.
Yeah.
To know that that's who she really would want to date, and that's hard to do, sometimes.
Yeah.
But,
Well, like with the long distance one, I mean, Mom met this person. She knows.
Well, and it was an obsession from the beginning. We were in this god awful, while we were waiting for this house to be built, we were in this awful, awful duplex, 1 bedroom. And she talked to him for, I don't know, an hour to 2 hours at night.
No, it was like 8 hours.
Well, whatever it was. I'm blocking it all out because it was so horrendous. But, and they were just obsessed with each other every evening, and which we all have that, I guess, at times. But I would like for her to start a relationship a little bit more slowly and not become so obsessed with it.
Yeah. Well, because with that situation, it was like I just didn't know certain details.
Yes, but that's why it takes time to get to know someone, why you shouldn't jump into something right away.
Yeah.
Who
what kind of guy do you picture with me with?
I think you need to have someone who's sensitive and strong at the same time, because I think that you are too giving, in the sense that she'd probably give her last dime to someone, and she would go without something for someone else, and she needs someone to kind of reel her in a little bit and say, now, do you think that's the right decision? Let's get on a budget, that kind of thing. Emily's more free about stuff, and so she needs someone to offset that part of her. And we all need that, I need someone in my life that's more fun and,
You're fun.
Spontaneous. I can be, but I'd like to have someone who's more fun and spontaneous. I don't want someone who just sits there and reads books all day. So,
AKA, I don't think she would do well with a guy like me. Would you?
No. Well, no. You can plan though. You're a planner. She plans parties and she likes to have events and stuff like that. And I hate that kind of stuff. But if you plan it, I might go.
I feel like you were really good at planning stuff when we were younger.
When they were younger, because I had to.
I guess we could talk about this. When I was younger, especially, I was really bad at keeping secrets.
Yeah, she told Anna about Santa.
And you also...
Henry. Oh, and about Coco.
The dog.
Yeah. I was surprising them with a puppy.
Yeah, for those of you that don't know this, Pakoki is pumpkin cocoa cookie. So Coco was our dog when I was
a supposed poodle that ended up being a dachshund poodle. Dachshund, because she was short, had little short legs and a long body.
Yeah.
And I even had like a groomer say, oh, that kind of looks like a poodle. I'm like, well, it's supposed to be a poodle, but it's a pseudo poodle.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then you also remember you surprised me with Anna's surprise party. Do you remember that?
Because Emily couldn't keep a secret.
Yeah, I didn't know about the surprise party until like 5 minutes before.
Yeah.
She's
also better now.
Yeah, I definitely am better, but I do still have the nickname. What is the nickname that you like to give me?
I don't remember. What is it?
How are you not remembering this? This is something you say to me all the time, or you used to say it all the time, especially. It has to do with Abraham Lincoln.
Oh, Honest Abe.
Why?
Because she would just tell all, even stuff she shouldn't tell, like about herself. There's some secrets you just need to keep.
Well, and I have
stuff you don't need to discuss.
I have a hard time lying too.
You don't have to lie, but you don't have to talk.
Yeah, I've definitely gotten better.
That's where the Honest Abe comes into play.
Yeah.
So
this is something interesting, well, that you guys might find interesting. When my mom was around my age, a little bit older, what did you decide to do?
Went to England. Germany. Went to Europe for 3.5 years. Not really a whim. I'd gone there for a vacation, and my mother's friend lived there, and she says, "Oh, well, if you want to come back, you can stay with me until you find a job." So I did. I don't think she was expecting that. So went there, and about a week, I had a job selling BMWs and Saabs, and found an English boyfriend that was really nice, and moved in with him, and worked as a tour guide for a little while too, and sold furniture, and traveled all over Europe. I had an old Mercedes diesel. It was probably a taxi, and had a great time.
And then you met my dad.
Yeah. And Desert Storm happened, and he was over in Kuwait when he asked me to marry him, and the letter was dated February 14th.
Oh, I didn't know he asked you to marry him on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, well, in a letter, but he also called. He was covering his bases. So, but that was back before cell phones and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And it was very difficult to call, especially from there. So,
yeah. Okay, let's look. I think there was some questions that we missed.
Oh, he was in the Army at Landstuhl Hospital, and then he got called to Kuwait, Desert Storm.
So we keep on getting this question: am I an INTJ or an INFJ? I believe INFJ. Let's see.
It's really raining out.
Yeah, it is raining.
Henry's a poodle chihuahua. So we call him a choo-choo.
A choo-choo. Well, that's what Anna and Leslie calls him.
Choo-choo.
Okay, I'm going to go.
We done?
We can be done in a moment.
Getting impatient.
I think. Do you have any closing remarks or anything you want to say
about life in general?
Yeah. What life advice do you have?
Yeah. I say go for whatever your dreams are. Don't have regrets about your life. If you want to do something, do it. I don't regret going to Europe. I don't regret any of that.
Yeah.
It was probably the best thing I ever did for myself. It was a great growing process.
You wouldn't have the poodles and I.
Yeah. Yeah. The only thing I didn't do is I didn't get my 4-year degree. I regret that, but I don't think it's really affected my life that much not to have it. There's a lot of people that don't have degrees that have done very well. But I was definitely one of the girls to have one because I did not have it. So I'd like to travel more. That's my next thing I want to do.
Where would you like to travel?
I want to go around the U.S. I've gone to most of the states. I haven't really gone all the way up to Maine and Vermont. But I want to make sure I hit all 50 states. I haven't been to Alaska or Hawaii. want to go there, and then go to Europe.
You want to go to
Okay.
Italy, especially?
Yeah, I've never been to Italy. Been to Venice, but not to.
Speaking of, what was it like driving with me across the country to Seattle?
Yes, our little adventure that we had with 2 cats.
If you don't know this,
in Emily's small car
2 years ago,
from Charleston to Seattle.
or almost 3 years ago, we drove from.
Yeah, it was 3 years ago.
Almost 3. We drove from Charleston, South Carolina to Seattle, Washington with 2 cats. So little Fleurist and Pumpkin, who is no longer with us. He was a very good cat.
He was.
How would you describe Pumpkin?
He was kind of like your rock, you know. Emily grew up with him. We picked him out at this little home, like a shelter type thing for cats. And the lady, when we went, it was me and the girls went. And there were cats all over the place. And I was looking around, and I wanted a quiet cat. And of course, Anna wanted the wild cat. And so I saw this beautiful tabby looking cat. It was kind of an orange color. It's like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. And he was like hiding in the bathroom, and I'm like picking him up.
He was behind a toilet.
Well, yeah. And I'm like, oh, this is the cat we need right here. And the lady's like, oh no, don't get him. He's antisocial. He would never do well with 2 children. So of course I got him. And he was the best, most loving cat you could ever imagine.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, he really was.
Yeah. Great personality.
Very he had a drama side to him.
He did throw up in the car on the way home.
Yeah. Well, he definitely, I mean, that makes me want to cry because, I mean, you know, how many times have I cried from Pumpkin?
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, because we both were there when Pumpkin passed away.
Yeah.
That's almost a month away from his year anniversary of dying.
Mm-hmm.
That was
very traumatic.
Yeah.
But anyway, so we drove all the way to Seattle from Charleston, and we stopped, 4 hotels?
Yeah.
I kind of planned them as we went there. And so we had to sneak the cats in every time. Is there anyone watching? I don't think it's that illegal. Anyway, we'd put them in the cage and put something over it and sneak them in. A lot of times it was one of those hotel motel things, so you kind of go in the back way.
Yeah, and then Fleur one day hid in the box spring.
Yeah, we couldn't find her. She was hidden in between the mattress and the box springs.
Well,
I think she'd had enough.
Think of something to talk about because I'm gonna go get Fleur.
Oh.
So just say whatever. You can tell secrets about me or
really
whatever you want to say.
I don't know. So that trip was very interesting. Emily was determined that she was going to go to the opposite side of the world there, or at least the U.S., and she got a job with HelloFresh. I don't know, I'm allowed to say that. But thought that it was going to be something than what it was, and lived with these 2 girls that she didn't know, and they each had a cat, and one had a dog. And it just did not work out. And she, well, it's hard having roommates. It really is.
I also got shingles.
Well, yeah.
That's why
she
had
a
scar.
Scar on her head. So I went and rescued her, kind of, again. There's the huntress. She looks so innocent. Show them her teeth, though. She has fangs. She has fangs. Look at that.
Wait.
Really? Yeah. Killer.
She's the goodest baby.
She is good, though. I mean, she brought in her little prize today. She jumps over the fence. We have a 5-foot fence, and she jumps over it with the prize in her mouth and brings it up. sometimes to the doorstep or just to the side of the garden. As a little present. And her and Henry get along.
They're friends.
Henry loves her.
Yeah.
She tolerates him more than anything. But he'll clean her ears and other parts.
Yeah.
And he loves her way more than she loves him.
How does someone get shingles? This is what Nick Stride asked. Well, I had chickenpox when I was 10 months old.
It's related to that, but what from what I understand, it's when your immune system is down and you're exposed to the virus.
Well, stress.
You can get shingles. So what can cause your immune system to go down is stress, which she was under a lot of stress. Plus, she's allergic to cats, and she had both cats in her room. And they were in there a lot, and so she sneezed all the time. And I think that between that and just the stress of moving there and not getting along with maybe one of her roommates, and her job situation not working out the way she thought it would, I think that put a lot of stress on her, and so that caused her to have shingles.
Yeah.
And when it first started, it looked like it was a reaction. It looked like poison ivy at first, and it was kind of up here, and it was like a raised, looked just like what poison ivy would look like. And then it started kind of dripping and going down into this eye. And I thought it was a reaction to something, but luckily her father saw it and told her right away that it was shingles and that she needed to go to a doctor because she could have gone blind in that eye.
So yeah. Well, I very well almost went blind.
Yeah. And she had a lot of numbness and stuff.
I still don't have feeling completely in my face.
Yeah. Very serious situation.
Well, another fun thing that we did,
which again, parents never stop being a parent.
Remember when we went to England with the whole family? That was fun.
Yep, stayed in a castle.
Yeah.
Blah, blah, blah. So, yeah.
What?
Hey, little Fleur.
Let me see if I can find.
Good girl. You're so good. You bring us a little prize this morning.
Yeah.
Yes, you did. Yes.
So I don't know if people are going to be able to see this.
Oh, God, are you really going to show that? It's just it's awful to even look at it. She looked like a burn victim, honestly, is the best way you can describe it.
It's not really showing up very well.
Well, let me just tell you, she looked like a burn victim. It was all here, and it went down into her eye area.
Well, it's common with older people, and most people don't get it on their face. Most people get it on their body.
On their stomach.
Yeah, it's very like, it can be very lethal on your face, because my dad said if it goes to the tip of your nose, which mine was about right there, then you can die. It's fatal, and it only goes the
on one side.
Yeah. Wait.
The light has to hit it correctly for you can really kind of see it, but there's indentions.
Yeah, I have indentions.
And I've done a chemical peel, and we've done a microneedling on it.
Yeah, and I could hardly even feel it when we did that. Anyways, I think we should probably close it up. We've been talking for almost an hour.
Thank God.
We're gonna go eat some peppers.
Yes, and then if the weather permits, we'll take Henry for another walk. Yeah. I'm doing this. I'm obsessed with the
10,000 steps.
Yeah, there's a thing on my phone that you can put on there, and so I try to get at least 10,000 steps a day.
Yeah. I mean, speaking of shingles, I don't know if Mom would want me to ever make a video about it, but if you guys are interested in me going into more detail, I don't know.
It seems like more and more young people, because when I was working as an esthetician, I would tell some of my clients about that, and I actually had a couple of younger people tell me that they have had it too. So I think it's more prevalent than we know. So, which is sad to hear, because I think people are more under stress about certain things and what society asks of them, or what they expect from themselves than what it ever used to be.
Yeah.
I think things were so much more simple.
Well, it definitely was the worst pain I've ever had. It felt like being
Mhm.
electrocuted, like electric shocks every 5 seconds.
Because it affects the nerves.
Yeah, because it
There's
comes
lots
from
of
the nerves.
nerves in that area.
Yeah, and like I said, don't have full feeling over here.
Oh, good.
I can just hit it. It actually doesn't hurt when I do this.
All right, well.
All right.
Anyway, I enjoyed it, everyone. If you got any questions for the future, I might show up again.
Yeah, we could always do another video later.
Henry went down there to.
And who knows where Fleur is.
Come on. Come say goodbye. Come here. Come here. Come on.
But yeah.
Henry wants to say goodbye. All right. Just say bye-bye. Say see ya. See ya. Look. Henry. Okay.
Bye-bye.
Yes, we need to cut his hair in the front. He's got his little scroungy look. I had this lady, we were walking him. Now, doesn't he look like a cute little dog? We had this lady say to us, "That's an interesting looking creature."
I mean, he is
Yeah,
interesting.
I had to hold myself back on that one. I just looked at her like, really? Yeah, you're an interesting looking creature too, but I didn't say that. That's what was in my head.
All right.
Anyway.
Okay, bye-bye, everybody.
Bye. See ya.
We're going to go eat some peppers now. Right?
Yeah. All right, Henry. You need to go out. It's raining outside.